Cocaine Bear. This is an action comedy movie where we see a bear consuming drugs and going berserk on the people. Let's see how the movie ends. In the starting, we see a drug dealer on a plane with bags of cocaine. He is throwing the bags one by one as he does some drugs. Before jumping, he bumps his head and falls to his death. Now, we see a couple walking through the forest and talking about baby names and weddings. They see a bear and decide to take some pictures. But the bear is acting strange and hitting his head. Soon, the bear notices them and charges at full speed. The bear attacks the girl and the guy runs away. Police officers are investigating the scene to figure out who was the kingpin behind this cocaine. Their suspicion drives them toward a guy named Sid. Now, we see Howard is meeting up with his boss named Sid. Sid gives him a job to find the cocaine bags and team up with his son Eddie. We see Sari, a nurse who is getting ready for work. She is arguing with her daughter. The upcoming morning, Dee Dee goes out in the forest with her best friend named Henry. Because they don't go to school, their teacher calls Sari and informs them. Sari investigates and finds a map with a location marked on it. Dee Dee and Henry come across a package of drugs and decide to do some. But the bear is close by and steals some cheese. The bear surprises them and sneezes. They both scream. Sari, to alert the rangers, goes to the station and meets Liz and Peter, who agree to help her. They all leave the station as Eddie and Howard drive in the station. Howard uses the washroom when some kids try to mug him. He fights off and knocks them out. Eddie finds a package of cocaine, and they interrogate one of the kids. After pointing the gun, the kids decide to show them the hidden stash. Sari and the rangers see Henry on a tree scared. Soon the bear attacks Peter, who falls into cocaine. The bear attacks Liz from behind, giving Peter a chance to climb a nearby tree. The bear starts climbing Henry's tree, but sniffs cocaine from Peter and changes its route. It eats Peter alive as Henry and Sari escape. Sari and Henry see some red color on a rock and learn Dee Dee is still alive and is leaving hints. Liz goes back to the station where knocked out kids are waiting. The bear comes at the door. Liz makes one of the kids open the door as she prepares with her gun. After opening the door, she mistakenly shoots one of the kids, and the bear runs away. The bear kills one of the kids. Bob notices this and calls for medics. Medics investigate the bloodbath, and one of them enters a dark room where the bear is waiting. The bear attacks the medic, while the other one takes the wounded Liz in the ambulance. Somehow the male medics escape and get in the ambulance. The bear keeps chasing them and jumps inside the ambulance, throwing out Liz. The bear kills male medics, while the female medic crashes the vehicle, killing herself. Later on, we see the child walking alongside Eddie and Howard, unaware that Detective Bob has already confiscated the bag of drugs. Upon arriving at their destination, the child is shocked to discover that the bag is missing. Howard begins to threaten the child, who cowers behind Eddie for safety. Detective Howard then arrives and points his gun at the three of them. Suddenly, a bear appears on the scene, and both Eddie and the child lay down in an attempt to avoid danger. The bear, exhausted from its earlier rampaging, decides to rest on top of Eddie, crushing him. Howard approaches the bear, assuming that it is passed out, but accidentally drops a package of drugs, which wakes the bear up and makes it hungry again. After the bear swallows the drugs and starts to feel their effects, it begins to dance with Eddie. Detective Bob tries to distract the bear by throwing one of the packages away, giving Eddie and Howard a chance to run. However, Howard turns on Bob and points a gun at him. A gunshot is heard, and Bob falls with a stomach wound. But it was actually Sid who fired the shot. Sid arrives and demands the cocaine, fearing the consequences if he cannot deliver the drugs. They head back to retrieve the bag, but Bob has already knocked it over, and the bear takes it. While they argue, Bob's partner shows up and holds everyone at gunpoint. Later, it is revealed that the partner was working with the criminals, revealing corruption within the police department. We are taken back to Sari and Henry, who are crossing a river. They meet the guy hiker we saw at the beginning of the film. Starving Henry instantly starts munching on the hiker's stash of food, while Sari is trying to ask if he saw her daughter Dee Dee. He agrees to show them where she might be, and takes them to a dark, spooky cave. He hands over his torch and denies to come with them inside the cave. Inside the cave, we see baby bears snorting the bag of cocaine. The mother bear introduced her bag image to her kids. Nearby, Sari finds her daughter who has injured her leg. They hear a big roar from the bear and decide to leave. The criminals also arrive at the cave, but both Howard and Eddie are trying to convince Eddie they should go back. However, they get the first bag, but Sid is still not satisfied and wants to go deeper for more. The criminals meet Sari and others, while the baby bears attack Sid holding the cocaine bag. Sid orders his son Eddie to shoot the baby bears, but Eddie doesn't want to and declines to shoot. Sid tells Howard to shoot the babies as he throws his rifle at Howard, but instead, Sari catches the rifle and points it back at Sid. Soon enough, the mother bear arrives and shouts a roar. Sari with Henry and Dee Dee jumps down the waterfall to escape the chaos. Sid throws one of the packages to distract the baby bears. Eddie and Howard jump too, leaving just Sid behind. In the chaos, Sid shoots the mother bear, making her tremble. But as Sid is climbing up, he drops a package. The drugs go directly into the bear's nose, waking her up. The bear in one go ends the drug dealer's life, and her cubs join in for their feast. The next morning, we see the group splitting up and going on their way. Sari with her daughter and Henry are walking past the wrecked ambulance. As the cops are arriving, in the end, we see someone trying to film the mother bear playing with her cubs, but the bear notices the cameraman and gives out a creepy smile. Hope you liked this film. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Leave a comment below to suggest an idea for next Glimpse It.